everybody, smash the like button.
Hey, everybody. Make sure that you mash that like button on your way in here. Good morning, GM. Good afternoon. Good evening. Depends on where you're listening from and what time you are catching this. I appreciate you being here. This is the Web3 Breakfast Club. I am Jay Chains. Let's go. It is Pizza Friday. Appreciate you guys being here. As you guys fill in, as you come to the space, or you're in the live stream, whatever it may be. If you guys want to participate in the conversation today, all you got to do is come over to the X, JChains X, and come into the space. Raise your hand. Come on up to the stage. We are going to be chatting about the markets, the weekend review. We'll talk about all some crazy things that happen. Let's see what else is there. We'll get through it. We'll get through it all. We'll talk about it all. But please, guys, if you are down there and you want to participate in the conversation today, don't be shy. Because remember, at the end of the show, it is Friday. It is Pizza Friday. And you are, I assuming, hungry, and you're going to want some pizza later today. You got to put in your pizza order. So we'll do that towards the tail end of the show. But quick, some house cleaning, guys. Crushing another ONDO long right now. I'm up about 30% on an ONDO long. Got in at, let's see, my entry price was 87.5. Currently sitting at 90 cents. I'm only doing 10x leverage. You guys know I've tamed the beast a little bit, so we're only on 10x, but we're crushing this thing, man. Remember, the Easter trading competition with Femex is live. It went live yesterday, so you are going to want to participate. You can go down to the description of this video if you are on YouTube. You can also go to my bio on X, click the link, trade on Femex. You'll get all sorts of, like, in the future, we're going to do a lot of fun things. Right now is the Easter competition. There'll be sign-up bonuses, I believe up to $4,800, something like that. If you click and go through the things, check all that stuff out. But remember, the Easter trading competition is happening right now. And so with that, remember, thresholds, trading thresholds of all sizes, from like small up to like 10 million, right? And so don't let your trading style or size discourage you from participating. You could, like, with like 500, I think the minimum threshold to win something is like $500. Guys, that's $100 on 5x. That's nothing. You could do that very easily. But that being said, we've got a few weeks left of that. So if you're interested, let's get it. If not, let's move on. Ha ha ha. Oh, Dabatola, my guy. Oh, that's right. We got the chats. Now, today's a little different. I did go live on YouTube today because it's Friday, because we've been doing that moving forward next week, because next week we got our full schedule. We are live Monday through Friday, and then at 9 a.m. for Web3 Breakfast, and then we are going to do the afternoon show, the 4 p.m. show, Monday through Friday as well. So we are full schedule next week. We are going to take the afternoon off. I am. You guys you can choose not to. You can do whatever you want. But we have got a community-wide garage sale this weekend. And in the sake of dry powder, I'm about ready to put out a video about dry powder, about having dry powder and why it's so necessary. And I know I hear people saying, I don't have any more dry powder. Make it. Figure it the fuck out. Because with the way things are projecting, the way the market's looking, here's the deal. You got at least between now and July, right? July being Q3, the second half of the year. That's kind of when a lot of people are projecting the activity to really pick back up. So it gives you a couple months to stack your chips. Now, maybe it's a little bit delayed past July, right? Maybe we're going to get into the fall sometime. We'll figure all that stuff out. But either way you slice or dice it, you got some time to stack some chips. So do what you can. So like this weekend, we've got a community-wide garage sale. Well, my wife and I, we're going through the house. We're going through the bins in the garage. We're going through everything that we don't need. Let's make some more dry powder. We could pay some bills and buy some crypto. Why not? Spring cleaning, guys. This is the time to be doing all sorts of stuff like that, because, you know, I seriously, I hear a lot of guys and my friends, listen, I'm sometimes in that position where I spend my dry powder, but you got to find ways to make more dry powder. So this is the move. All right. I see we got a couple of the homies coming up to the stage. We got Mike, the Modern Canadian. What is up, my brother? How are you?
Good, man. How are you doing?
Hey, I got some energy. I'm a little ticked off. I'm going to tell you, Neil, I'll get to you in 1 second. I'm a little ticked off. Now, I know this was your spotlight, Mike, but because you asked, I'll give you guys an answer. Here's the deal. I have been plagued with this horrible coffee situation now for what feels like an eternity, but probably is just about a week and some change, right? A couple days, a week and a couple days. What had happened was it was last Sunday. So today is Friday. So not the Sunday recently. It was the 2 Sundays ago. I had given my mother-in-law my Nespresso machine, and we had given it to her like halfway during the day. We made our coffee Sunday morning. There was no problems, nothing to be alarmed or worried about. And then all of a sudden, Monday morning comes around, and the coffee machine is broken. It won't brew a pot of coffee. I have gone through a couple freedom presses. We call them freedom presses. You might call them a French press, but I don't. You guys know how I feel about freedom kissing and freedom toast and freedom fries. But anyway, so I had gone through a few of those. I've got this pour over thing that is just driving me bonkers. You know why? It is Stone Age technology. And I know that we're in a little bit faster paced society these days, but it's Stone Age technology for something that shouldn't take that long or need that much attention. I literally have probably, anyway, way too much time in my morning spent with a oven glove on, slowly pouring water into my pour over coffee. Thing is, I need a coffee machine that isn't cancer plastic with hot ass water. You know what I mean? Like I need a metal coffee machine, but I need it to have a pot because I'm not doing a one at a time. I drink way too much coffee. I can't do a thing at a time. So anyway, I am very sorry for being long-winded. That was my frustration this morning is my coffee. One of these days over this weekend, I am going to get this squared away. I've done the filter dripper baskets that are metal. It's just I just made the worst coffee in the world. It's just, I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, you have yourself a goal for this community-wide garage sale. You're on the hunt for a coffee maker now.
That's not something that I would want to get used. I'm just weird like that.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm weird like that. There's a
I,
lot of things that I do not mind. Like if I found if I was at a garage sale and I found someone was selling some Air Force Ones or some Jordans and they were slightly used, I wouldn't mind that. I could do that very easily. And that's something you wear, which you would think is a little bit weirder, but a used coffee machine is something that I just don't want.
Absolutely. And talking about making some extra dry powder, Corey had the right idea. He was starting the heat picks going already.
Did he? Is he doing that already?
Did you see the video?
No.
He's pouring with a mayonnaise on his feet.
Oh, goodness gracious. Maybe I did see that actually. Oh my goodness. What are we gonna do with that?
He's so traumatized and blocked out of his mind.
Shout out to Corey. Him and I were texting the other day. He said he was just kind of taking a step back from social media for like focus on it, right? So it doesn't play too much of a role in his life. And he said it made a difference. So shout out to every now and then we got to take that mental break from this place because it'll consume you. We know that. It's addictive.
100%. I've been dealing with the same thing. Honestly, I've been so unmotivated and maybe a little depressed. I don't even know. You know what I mean? You're just making content and I don't know what the fuck to do. Right. So it's just, when you're on the internet for too long, I think it gets to you. So it's kind of been nice to take a break and to spend time with my family a little bit more.
That's great, man. That's great. Well, here's the deal. When you are ready to come back, let's get a couple of us guys together and let's do some let's do where we're all on stream, we're all trading, we're all having a little fun. Let's do something like that. So we'll talk in our group. Any guys or gals that are interested in doing that, all you got to do is say, "Hey, I'm interested," and we could do that. It'll be fun.
Absolutely, dude. Yeah, I'm so lately, I've just been so interested in macro. I'm just focusing on the huge big picture of everything.
Mhm.
So that's all I've been watching, just macroeconomics and trying to figure out where the hell is this market going long term.
We know where it's going long term, guys. We know unequivocally where this is going long term. Long term, this is going up and to the right big time. But we may go.
Damn, you got to it before I could say it.
we might go a little sideways for a hot minute, but we are gonna go way up. And Neil, my guy, my brother, what is up with you? How are you, bro?
Oh man, just feeling up and to the right, baby.
Let's go.
I don't know, man. You know, like he said, I'm worried about this macro stuff. I think everybody freaked out about the tariffs. I understand, but I think we're going up, baby.
I think so too. I mean, we've just been going down way too long. It's just time, man. It's time to shake things up, or at least if it's not like, let's just use Bitcoin for the example, right? Bitcoin's just chilling, sitting at right now 81.9, so almost 82. We don't need it to go back to 100, but let's just go back to the 90s. Let's pull everything up with it for a little bit of fun in the sun, right? Let's do that. Let's chill out. Let's have some fun. And again, we could come back down to these levels. We could just bounce, right? We get a little too happy up into the 90s. Hey, reality check. Let's come back to the 80s. We get a little sad. We don't need to go to the 70s. Let's just go back to the 90s. Let's just bounce between the 80s and 90s, keep us happy and sad for a little bit, keep us entertained, and then we light the fireworks. He'll bring you back on up here. That's kind of that's the hope and the dream, is that we've been down since December. At some point, we need a little bit of a relief. I know that's like contrary to popular opinion here in crypto, but at some point, we need a little bit of a relief, and hopefully, it's coming very soon. I mean,
that's kind of what I was thinking about. You know, like you said, if we can get back up into the 90s, maybe some of these altcoins can swing a little bit, a little more confidence in the market, I think we'll be all right. Hopefully, we'll see.
Absolutely. So here we go. Today, I just want to let you guys know, hopefully y'all got a chance to watch the video with Flopping Groper and I yesterday, and you learned a little bit. That I have still so much more to learn about this leapfrog indicator thing, but I will tell you like what I watched today, and I crushed a trade earlier, and I'm in one right now that's like it's going right. I think I'm up 40% now on it. I said 30% when we started the show. I got another 10% on it since we've been in the show, and it's only been 13 minutes. So it's watching this VWAP thing, man. This thing went from the daily VWAP to the previous day VWAP, right? And now we're pushing on the next line up. If we're going to leap up again, is the previous quarter 2 VWAP, which is sitting at 97 cents. This is 2 days in a row now. I've been watching this thing, and you watch it in the morning and you look at the daily VWAP to the previous day, and you look at some of these other metrics with the previous, man, this thing likes to touch other VWAPs. It likes to, this is interesting how this is working, man. So if you didn't watch that, I would watch that video, put it out last night with Flopping Groper, FG, and I. It was a great conversation. We didn't really, it's not like, we did like a little bit of like chit chatting in the beginning, and then the second half, we're talking more about the indicator and the charts and all that kind of stuff. But I would definitely give it a watch, and then, check out what they got going on there. But woo.
Damn, XY was pumping a little bit too. This is the only one on my radar that I see here on TradingView is up 31% in the last little bit here.
Nice,
interesting.
Right. Mike, what you got for us, my guy?
Yeah, no, I was just gonna relate back, to the charts and stuff like that. Like, so what I've been tracking, like I've been tracking the daily chart on the Bitcoin for the past like couple months now, and we had a very clear downtrend. It would, capitulate down and then kind of trend up a little bit, capitulate down, like rising channel, and then drop down. And now it's kind of starting to do something a little funky, a little different. So maybe we're making a bottom pattern. And then all my watch list, like I said before, I think it was like last week, Big Time is leading the way. So like maybe Big Time is foreshadowing. Like I'm sure there are other coins. I'm just speaking to like my watch list. Mm-hmm. And Big Time is looking like it's starting a new uptrend. So maybe Bitcoin's just lagging behind that, and all the other altcoins look like Bitcoin. They look like a similar thing, downtrend, descending triangle, like all that kind of stuff. Like they all look the same except for Big Time. So I'm wondering if
didn't Big Time get
a couple weeks.
Big Time got one of the listings for Binance, wasn't it? It was Big Time Virtuals and ONDO, right?
So yeah, they're voting for. Big Time is.
No, it's in.
Did it get approved?
Yeah. So this was something I posted it this morning and said, I told you guys, I knew this shit. ONDO was getting the thing. The rumor had just been way too strong in the inner circle for way too long that it was happening. And so ONDO, Big Time, and Virtual, they all got voted to get listed on Binance. Now, some
Okay,
people call this the
that
death
makes sense.
sentence, right? That it's you go there and it gets dumped. But man, we've been dumping since December. This is, I think, a good thing.
Yeah, Bitcoin's been around for a while, so like they've already had people manipulating the market on it. So honestly, I don't really know how much lower it can really go. Like it's sitting at what 7 cents, and it hit down to 4 cents. It was lower than its release price when it came out. So I don't think it's gonna die. Well, not yet, at least. Maybe in the bear market, but I think we still have some upside to go. But yeah, again, I don't really. But to be honest, Bitcoin to me is still a shitcoin. I'm just kind of looking at it like, okay, this is pumping. Like, this is foreshadowing what's coming. Which I still think maybe 2 to 3 weeks in this market is like making a new uptrend. But I'm not counting my chickens before they hatch. Bitcoin needs to flip 90K as support, in my opinion, to really, for me to be like solidify, like we're in an uptrend.
Damn. So I know that we're seeing Bitcoin coming down right now, right? 81.8. I want to tell you guys right now, 81.163 is the line for the daily VWAP, and 87.65 is previous daily VWAP. So keep those numbers in mind today. If we touch 80,765, I want you to come back and subscribe to this fucking channel, because you know we got the juice. It's interesting how this is doing. Like, you're seeing now, this is Bitcoin. This is a bigger move, right, for it to come down there. But all the altcoins that I've been looking, man, it's like you look at that daily and the previous daily, like it's like almost guaranteed that thing fucking does it, that it does what it's supposed to do, and it touches those things. Like, it just wants to find them. So I'm just saying, keep those numbers in mind. Like, I think that we're on our way down to 81. This line is at 81.163. So, kind of a drop is that. It's not even 1%, so it's not that big of a deal to where we go for the daily. But if we were going to go to where yesterday's VWAP was, that's 1.28% down. I mean, 10x that, probably good. Throw a little leverage on it, baby.
Because
what's that?
We pumped up so fast last night that we're just going to come back and touch the 21, the moving average. So if we hold the 21, then that's good. You want to stay close to the 21 as we're pumping up.
That's good advice there, right there. I like that. Oh, well, what's everybody doing? What you got planned for the weekend? You do anything fun? It's Friday. Well, let's
my
extend the
brother-in-law's
chop shop
turning
a little
40 today, so we're having a party for him. He's turning 40, big 40. So that's going to be my weekend.
Who's turning 40?
My brother-in-law.
Oh, nice. Well, happy early birthday to the brother-in-law, man. That's fun. Neil, what about you, fam?
Man, I'm gonna be out fertilizing corn, brother. I'll send y'all a picture or video. I'll try to post something over the weekend. Let's see, y'all. Let y'all see what's up. That's about my weekend. That, and maybe do a little fishing. You know.
What kind of fish you got near you?
Bass and crappie is what we typically catch out of this pond I got here at the house.
Boom. I love catching some bass, man. I remember
white perch, or sockeye, as some people call it.
Sockeye. Okay.
Yeah, that's Cajun for like or French or something for milk bag, and it's because it's a white perch. They call it milk bag. Really good, really good meat.
Know if it's Canadian because it's how they drink their milk, in a bag. You know, I love that. Get yourself. Hey, make sure you got your milk bag knife. Don't forget your milk bag knife.
Indeed.
Was it who was posting the pictures of one that was basically just a letter opener, right? Wasn't somebody in our community post pictures of that?
That I don't know.
Interesting. Well, what do you guys got? Anybody want to come hang out with us, or is that it? We're going to shut it down for the day.
Oh, I was going to let you know. So with those white perch, all you do is you chop the head off, cut the belly open, pull the guts out, and then you fry that thing whole. Now, you do got to get the scales off of it. But it's really good, man, if you ever get a chance. I know you live in Georgia. I know y'all got white perch.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I don't really do much fishing down here. I don't really do much fishing ever. Now, when we were younger, we have like property in Michigan, and we had a lake house, so we'd go there. Now, I can tell you the first time that I ever caught a fish, um, I didn't know what to do, and I was probably like early teens, right? And I had no clue what to do, how to get that fish off of a hook. But anyway, that's just a young guy
The
not
wor-
knowing how
the
to
worst
fish.
is the worst is bass when you're trying to go grab the bass. And they're so they can move so much, right? So you're trying to grab the hook, get the hook out, and they keep fucking moving. Fucking just slap it. It's like, dude, like stop moving so I can get the hook out of you. Don't you want to lift and put it back? But right now, like here in Ontario, like around April, May is like primo salmon fishing season. Like I used to go on charters with my in-laws and my wife and catch like huge king salmon. Like my wife had one. It took 10 minutes for her to bring that one in. She was like shaking afterwards. Like it was a good fight. It's a good fight. It's definitely worth going on a charter and catching some big boys.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you said it. That was, and then that reminded me. Later in life, um, I ended up working. I ran like this boat rental company for this German dude. He was like a German business guy, right? Like I think, if I'm not mistaken, like voice over IP phones, like when that was like a thing back in the day, like that was like important. He had like something to do with all of that, and so he was, gone to Germany quite often, and so I was running this boat rental company for the guy. I was living in Cape Coral, Florida. I was living at the house where we had all the boats. And man, every day I was basically my diet consisted of going across the canal because we lived on a canal, across to the bait shop, get yourself some jumbo shrimp or whatever you want to get for the day. Take one of the boats out, or just throw a line right out there in the canal and get like mangrove. Was it mangrove snapper? Um, what other? There's a whole bunch of really good fish eating down there, and you just pull them right out of the canal, flay them up, grill them up, bada boom, bada bing. Eating fresh every day, man. That was the jam. So it was funny, like a long way from not knowing how to take a fish off a hook to basically surviving on a fish like multiple days a week. Life comes at you,
Oh yeah,
full
that's
circle,
the best
baby.
way to have fish, man. Right when you catch it. Like we used to go to Cuba, and me and my dad would spear gun fish and catch fish, bring it to the chef, and just fucking cook it, grill it up, and just throw some lemon on it, and away you go.
Oh man, I love those kind of restaurants where you do that, where you catch something and then you bring it in and they cook it for you. I've been to a couple of places like that in some places around here. Let's see. Let's go. Let's talk about some crypto stuff here. I had seen this headline: Trump signs resolution to repeal controversial IRS crypto rule finalized under Biden lawmaker. Says, what was it? What are they going to do here? Why don't they just get rid of the IRS in total?
I don't think they have enough revenue from tariffs to do that yet. Like it's kind of like I was watching like Raoul Paul and one of his analysts talk today, and they're talking how like even Doge, like Elon Musk has kind of given up on the whole Doge thing because it's really an impossibility to like you're not gonna like bring the debt to GDP down with Doge alone. I think the best bet that the U.S. has is that Bitcoin strategic reserve and holding it for 20 years and making a dent on the what do you call it, the debt. But the problem is like then you have 20 more years of compounding debt before you sell, and then all of a sudden they want to sell 1,000,000 Bitcoin. So like 20 years down the road, you're gonna have this huge capitulation in Bitcoin that's going to sell 1,000,000, right? So that's like I guess that's the problem for 20 years from now. But I just don't see the possibility how you're not going to get this debt to GDP in control. It's just impossible. Historically, when you get to this level, it's like almost impossible to bring it back. So more cowbell, which means more printing. It's just a matter of when. I made a post about this morning. It's just like it's going to happen, whether it's China, U.S., or both. I think it's going to be both. But I think the U.S. is like kind of like when they were raising rates. It took them very very long to finally pivot and like actually start cutting.
Mhm.
And I think it's going to be the same thing with QE. They're going to wait till absolute last moment. And actually, a pretty cool thing that Raul mentioned was like maybe he's going to push it out as long as possible till towards those midterms, before he starts QE, and then QE starts coming out, and he looks really, really fucking good around that midterm time, and he wins the midterms.
That'll be interesting. I think that, you know, I was watching something about who was saying it. Was it even Portnoy? Portnoy was saying, you know, basically like, man, buyer's remorse right now. Hopefully things change, because if things don't change by the midterms, there is probably gonna, you know, you'll hear some people, there'll be some uproar. So I don't know. Well, that was interesting.
Yeah. Oh, this is what we like. You know, this is what everybody wants. Like you wait for moments like these because you missed the boat in 2008. Okay, you're like, this is the times where you want to get in. S&P's down like what 20%. Nasdaq's down 22%. S&P thing was down like 17%. Like this is the fucking moments we wait for. And you know, I know it's hard mentally because you don't want to see this shit, and it's hard for our minds to like buy the red when you don't know if it's going to buy, and all of a sudden you're down another 10%. But these are the moments that you have to train yourself to buy at these times, because I just have faith in, like, just fucking have faith in the system, understand the underlying thing. It's not like, you know, we're going to have more debt, assets are going to go up because we're going to hoist the base currency. So if you understand those fundamentals, then there's no way it can't go up. You just have to fucking wait.
Right. Right. I mean, and that's the thing. I think in crypto, yes, there's always the uncertainty with all this kind of stuff, but you know, crypto is a special beast. It's newer. I think, you know, you get a little bit more inexperienced investors in crypto. I'm not saying everybody, and that's a generalization. I get it, but if you were to look at like the stock market and you look at TradFi investors, you know, like some of those people are like, you know, they're hardened and they understand a 20% drop in the S&P 500. That's what we saw. Like that's a big drop, right? But I think most people understand that the markets, and they're cyclical. They go up, they go down. It's a wheel. They go around and around and around. The wheels on the market go round and round, right?
100%. The volatility is your penance for making the most gains you're going to make in any other market.
Right. The volatility is your penance, but it's also what's going to make you the most amount of money. You know what I mean? Like, having that ability to see and know and understand. I mean, again, like what we're watching right now is crypto. I would think, let me look at the crypto total market cap. So this is the big one. And if you guys are watching on the live stream, you can see I've got it pulled up, right? And so there, I'll turn off the leapfrog for this, because that doesn't matter for this. I'm not looking at. That has been. What were we just talking about? Sorry, it distracted me turning that off. We were about the market going down. Well, what were we saying? Damn.
Sorry, we were saying, oh my God, I'm brain farting.
Yeah, total
We're
brain
talking
fart.
about the volatility is your penance to thing, and you were saying how like the volatility is how you make the most returns.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, we're still seeing at the end of the day, we're still seeing the total market cap is still in a downtrend. You're in a downtrend until you're not. Now, however, we are on the top side. If you look at, you know, if we do, and this line is obviously not perfect, but if you were to say like, okay, you know, where are we at in our range going down? We are closer to the top side of it than the bottom side of it. Let's pull it, and that's probably not the right place to pull it from, but it could potentially, it shows the idea of what we're doing here. So it's on the top side of the range, and so potential to break out of the trend at any moment, which would be fantastic. Man, I know we were going somewhere else with this. Damn it, I was not targeting towards going to the bull run. Anyway, damn.
Yeah, just imagine if altcoins make a new all-time high. You're getting like the biggest gift possible. Like Ethereum is basically at its bear market lows, and if Ethereum makes an all-time high, that's gonna be the trade of the fucking year possibly. Or like Solana, like getting Solana at like almost like I went down under $100, and if it goes to like $500, that's a 5 X. Where are you gonna get that? You didn't even get that in real estate. There's no better market to be in. Yes, it's fearful, but it's not fearful if you're only playing with money you're okay to lose, right? It's managing your emotions And to be honest with you, this whole market, I haven't fucking looked at my portfolio. I haven't even logged into my exchanges because I'm just like, if I look at it, I'm going to get emotional, and you know what? I'm just going to wait. Sit here, wait, go play some fucking video game and spend some time with my family. I know where we're going because it's inevitable. So I just hold because I'm going to do something stupid and maybe say, oh, you know, sell now and buy back at the lower bottom. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, we're not going to do that. We're just going to continue to buy. And if I'm catching the falling knife, so be it, because I know long term it's going to go up.
Once you've been here, you understand how it works and you understand the opportunity. And you talked about Ethereum, man. Like, I got the ETH chart pulled up. Look, ETH has broken out of a multi-year uptrend, right? Broken down, excuse me. I've broken out of the structure. Like, it is broken down. Hey, let's bring up our friend Pete. I was wondering who Pete was. I saw the bear. I was like, I got another friend with a bear. It's our bear friend. What's
Ethereum
up, Hash?
kind of reminds me of Solana.
What's that?
Solana went down to $2 and nobody wanted to touch it after FTX. And look at it now, right? So like I kind of feel like Ethereum is in the same way. Nobody wants to touch Ethereum. It's been kind of like the black sheep this whole bull run. And then all of a sudden, when Ethereum does run, it fucking rips.
So there's something. There has to be something more to like the Trump. It's a good time to buy Ethereum. Just this week, I want to say someone bought someone notable, some account, some whatever bought like $500 million worth of Ethereum, right? Like $455 million worth of it yesterday or the day before. Like, why? Well, who knows something, right? We all hate Ethereum because we've been trained to hate it. It's too expensive. Well, something's up. Pete, what's up with Ethereum?
As my namesake Pete would say, just buy Farcoin. Just buy Farcoin.
Oh, it
would have done you very well. It would have done you very well. We talked about this. Was that yesterday, the day before with Ethereum? I agree. I like to counter trade market sentiment. So when everybody's like, "Oh my God, Ethereum's dead," that's a good indicator to be like, "Okay, well, what's going on here?" And I think we talked about this. Like everything runs on Ethereum. So like, yeah, I'm not out of ETH. I don't know that it's the generational trade. But I think there's a lot of those opportunities, like Kenny was saying, like Solana when it went to $8, people thought it was going to zero. They didn't buy it. They doom posted about it. So when I see people being like, "Oh, here we go, Ethereum going to break 1,000," okay, I'll put some bids in for 985. But I don't think we're going to go quite there. But I'm looking at it now.
Oh,
what do you guys think about ETH being a big player in the whole stablecoin bill, right? Like most of the DeFi is on Ethereum still.
Right. So Brian Gensler in the chat over on YouTube, he hit the nail on the head, man. Control ETH and then control everything on the chain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a great way to put it, honestly.
So you spend some time fudding it up. We know that there's manipulation in crypto. We know that. So you spend some time fudding it up to control but can you? I mean, how does that even look? Sandra, she said she's an ETH. I saw a post come in on the thing. She's an ETH maxi. Hey, Sandra.
Hi, Sandra.
Would that be funny if do you think there are groups of people who, you know how like the Bitcoin maximalists, they're very well known in the space and they're for the most part intolerable. I do love my friends that like Bitcoin a lot. I do love Bitcoin, guys. Don't get me wrong. I like Bitcoin, but all of us that do other DeFi activities and buy NFTs and all that stuff, we're not true Bitcoin maxis. And so that's kind of like a mental disorder in some way. But do you think, are there actual ETH maxis?
Yes.
There are.
Yeah, just ask the Liberal Party.
The blue hairs.
Deep cut Canadian political jokes. That's the way to do it.
Oh, you guys went over my head with your.
Yeah, the Liberal Party is our Democrats up here. There are ETH there's everything maxis. I think this actually goes back to the control question. Now that we live in a proof of stake world, yeah, you can control it.
GM,
Remember Crow?
everybody.
We talked about this. They just decided to vote yes because they own the validators.
Yeah,
Proof
that
of
whole
stake.
thing. Man, I'm not really sure how we can get past that and how we can continue to like allow big names or companies or corporations or politics, whatever, to be promoting crypto.com when they literally did something that goes against every fabric of crypto. And maybe the alternative we talked about this, yes. What's that?
But isn't government strategic reserves also kind of everything we hate? Like, is that also not against the ethos of crypto?
So is that a sign to us then that there's something a brewing, that there's something in the background that we should maybe be trying to pay attention to? Because why would they do that? They've been their legacy, right? Again, they were Monaco before they were crypto.com. They've been around for a very long time. So they understand it's not like just some geeks off the street that came and started a project and got lucky. Like this company's been around, it pivoted, right? I think it's making another pivot, but do you think like it would have been maybe better to, I said yesterday, launch a new coin, kill the Crow token and launch a new one. You guys said, no, that's not the move. Like, what do you do? Like
Ethereum did the same thing. Like they rolled back the blockchain after a big hack, and everybody seemed to forget about that. Nobody uses Ethereum Classic anymore. So it's just going to be a matter of time. Everyone's going to forget about this, and no one's going to care, and people are going to use crypto.com because it is what it is, right? And again, like you said, it's a certain cohort of people will use crypto.com. Some people will want self custody. Some people will use DeFi, and there's just a piece here for everybody. And you have to understand that, it's your risk. You're taking the risk. You understand that you're going to be in a centralized exchange or in a coin that they can do that. If you know all that and you still want to invest, it's on you.
Good point. I wouldn't guess I wouldn't disagree with that. Crypto X, what's up, fam? GM.
GM, everybody. I'm just putting together a care package for Mr. Ben Armstrong. I don't know how to get this economy-sized preparation H in the box, though. Anyway, here's the thing. Ethereum's in a better position, to me anyway, than Bitcoin. Nobody wants to talk about, the who's behind Bitcoin, the four Satoshis. And you don't hear anybody talking about that Homeland Security video when you have somebody from Homeland Security on stand in front of Congress under oath talking about how they went and met the four Satoshis in LA and they know who they are. So, that being said, is there something behind this? Does the U.S. government hold that $1 million wallet that Satoshi is Satoshi's wallet? Because we all know that the encryption technology, it was copyrighted and trademarked by the NSA back in like the 70s and 80s for this stuff. So who's really behind that first initial, as we call it, the immaculate conception of Bitcoin?
Mm-hmm.
That's what really puzzles me, and that's why I haven't jumped into Bitcoin as hard as I want to, is because there's that that unknown there, where at least with Ethereum, we know who the founders are, we know who's behind the project. It's all been doxed, stuff like that, and as long as with a lot of these other main projects that aren't meme coins per se. So that being said, I don't like Ethereum either, as we've been brainwashed, or the programming that we've been put in now is that it's not good, it's slow, it's clunky, it's expensive, stuff like that. But the main institutions are getting heavily involved. Like Jay Chain just said, $450 million investment that's a huge that's huge capital flowing into that asset. So it just puzzles me that nobody wants to talk about that we're putting Bitcoin in a strategic reserve now, but nobody wants to talk about this video from Homeland Security or who actually is behind Bitcoin. And that's kind of what leaves me a little questionable on what why would I invest in something that we don't know who's behind it, and at any moment, if that million Bitcoin wallet came onto the market, what would that do to the price of Bitcoin?
We also
Go ahead.
Dennis Rodman also said he knew who Satoshi was too, right? Like a lot of people said they've met with Satoshi, they know Satoshi. Nobody knows Satoshi. And you know, I see your point. Like, you know, it's kind of scary because you don't know who the founder is, what it could be. But like that's, you know, there's one side. You can think about it negatively, that it's a stranger, that they can do something bad, or you can think about it like maybe that person literally did make it as a gift and left it for people, and there's nobody that can control somebody that that doesn't exist, or they don't know who it is. Like for example, if Vitalik was to pass away tomorrow, you better believe there's going to be a huge dip in crypto. There's going to be, just like any market, when there's uncertainty.
You
No, you
think it
have
would dip?
sell-offs.
You think it would dip if Vitalik died, or do you think it would like rip as like as
Absolutely,
homage
no.
to
He's
him?
the lead developer. He's the lead developer on the project.
Nah,
Like he's not
he
just like the
doesn't.
founder.
He's just the mascot now. He doesn't do anything. He's just the sounding board and the mascot for Ethereum, and that's it. That is literally it.
I say this because I've been in the calls when I was mining. I was in the developer calls. I was in like the like all the meetings and everything, and like the foundation meetings.
Uh-huh.
And he has a big part to say. He's like the he basically says a direction, and then he's got his cronies, like a politician. He's like the leader of the party kind of thing. Like he will like say, hey, we're gonna do this, and then everybody just like goes, yeah, because like they want to follow him. So like he has a huge push in what happens in Ethereum. He really leads the way in what the direction that they're going to do, because there are people that will just vote on his side no matter what, because they want to be like, you know, on his side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like you gotta remember, the miners were pushing back against the whole proof of stake like huge, and they said, no, fuck you, even though the miners had a huge amount of voting power, and they said no, because Vitalik said no.
I can just imagine the whole, you know, the executive suite, the boardroom, or the conference room, or whatever. Just everybody like robots.
Yes, Mr. Butterbeans. Vitalik Butterbean Butterin.
Honestly, you're not too far off. It's very close to that.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. Neil, what a polite guy with the hand up. What's up, G?
Yeah, I try to be that way. Sorry about the technical difficulties earlier. But I mean, you know, talking about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all that stuff, I'll never say anything good about Ethereum, because of what they did to XRP and how that whole deal went down. We all know they did everything they could to hold it back. And in the end, it ain't gonna matter. But also, what? And I may be wrong about this. This is actually a question. I thought Ethereum was like a CIA deal. Is that not true?
Dude, I think when you think about like if the technology was invented in the 70s by the NSA, like there is no reason not to believe that somehow, some way, you know, the government is behind everything. You know, this is all part of the global financial shift, right? Everything that we're seeing, and we're beta testing, and we're doing all the things right on schedule. Now, the one thing that like Crypto X was saying, like that does interest me. I did not know there's a Homeland Security video. I do want to watch that if they specifically say that there's 4 people. But something that I have not thought about before is, how is the government, our government, because they wouldn't, I don't think that it makes sense for them to, like you said, build a strategic reserve with an asset that they don't know who fucking launched it. And so I'm sure there's an NDA signed somewhere, or whatever, or they've got to figure that out, because it just is one of those things that I'd never thought about. Like, we don't care about, you know, the mystery behind Satoshi. Some people do, some people don't. You know, I did a quick search for that Homeland Security. A lawyer is suing the Homeland Department to probe the supposed interview about the Satoshi Nakamoto thing. So, you know, we got to look that up. But, you know, who's this lawyer? Does he hate crypto? Is he a douchebag? Is he one of us trying to uncover Satoshi? What's the deal? Do we know who the lawyer is?
I don't know who the lawyer
Conspiracy
is.
Chain's voice is the best.
What's that?
The voice you have when you're thinking about conspiracies, whatever the tone is, like we need to get you to read sci-fi books in that voice.
My Tucker. That's like my Tucker. I don't get it. Like, what does it mean? I do like Tucker. I always loved, like, even like when he would have somebody on, this is like back to his Fox days, like when he would just make someone look like such an idiot by asking a simple question like that, and you knew it was condescending as fuck. He would just be like, but I don't understand. Can you explain that to me? Because it just doesn't quite make sense. I always like that style. It's a way to let people know that they're an asshole without saying you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, he learned a very valuable lesson when Jon Stewart ruined his life, and then he came back stronger than ever.
Oh, good thing my coffee was cold because it just went through my nose.
Hey, J Chains. So you can see the video. You can find it online, but I think it's Digital Asset Investor. He's been talking about this for a couple of years now, and he just put out a video 2 days ago where he brought it up again and showed it's a female Homeland Security agent being testifying in front of Congress and talking about this, and this is back from like early 2009 or 2010, I think it was. So
around
this
the
goes
time
really
that it came
far
out.
back. Exactly. And I would highly recommend anybody that has not seen this yet to go to do the research and go check that out, because it just, it really puts that thought in the back of your mind with everything happening. Okay, let's just say that the NSA did develop this technology. We know that, but let's say that they are behind Bitcoin, and now that they've got this narrative that Satoshi's gone, he's dead, he's whatever, he doesn't exist. Well, all of a sudden now, wouldn't it be convenient if somehow the U.S. government we figured out how to retrieve those million Bitcoin, and what that would do to the market? Because in reality, out of the 21 million Bitcoin, what's really rotating in this market is only about 2 million Bitcoin. That's what's keeping the price where it's at. The rest of it's in cold wallet. People have it stored in cold wallets and stuff like that. It hasn't moved in years and years. So if you think about that, and they inject another million Bitcoin into the market, all of a sudden that's a third. That'd be a third of what's circulating in the market to keep the price where it's at. That'd be huge to the.
Do you think if Satoshi's identity is known, does that let's just talk about the legacy wallets first, and then we can talk about a general consensus here, but legacy wallets, does that get people to sell, or does that get people to hold longer now that they know who Satoshi is? They've held this long not knowing. Does this change their mind if this information were to come out like anytime soon?
Yes.
I mean, in my opinion, yeah, it would, but it also depend on who Satoshi is. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen the research done on the evidence that shows that Jack Dorsey might be Satoshi, and a lot of the stuff that, like, back when he was still a developer and before Twitter and all that, some of the emails that he had sent out about wanting to be known for creating a digital currency and stuff like that. So there's a lot of evidence that shows that he might be the Satoshi. And if that was the case, how would that turn out because of his position in the economy and in the technology industry? So whether or not the government comes out and says that they claim it, whether or not Jack Dorsey comes out and says he's Satoshi, or if we never find out who Satoshi is, I think it definitely is going to impact the price moving forward. I know I work with a lot of high net worth individuals, moving them into this market, and you'd be astonished how many people are so hesitant about Bitcoin just because they don't know where it came from, and there's no origin story behind it, and it's one thing to say that Christ came from immaculate conception, but Bitcoin, it's getting way out there now, and a lot of people that's something people can't bite into, so they choose to go with a lot of these other assets like Ethereum, XRP, Cardano, and some of these other more stable projects that actually have utility or are doing something. And I'm not saying that Bitcoin doesn't. It definitely does.
No, I get you.
It's something all in itself. Yeah.
No. It's it's an interesting idea. I know a couple of you guys chipped in and said yes, that it would definitely get legacy wallets to sell. All right, let's think about the general market, and then we'll get to you guys if this plays into the hands that you have, or if you want to make questions, comments, however that works. But I just want to say, like, think about now the broader market, the global financial ecosystem. Now we know that it's not an anonymous founder. We know, potentially 4 identities. Does that then catapult Bitcoin? Again, I think it depends on who it is, but does that then catapult Bitcoin to another stratosphere because the unknown is gone? There's no fear of the unknown anymore. And does that send it up to the next level? Is that the next white swan? I couldn't think of the word. Anyway, let's go Mike, and then we'll go to Pete.
Yeah, so thinking about it, like, okay, so if they say, for example, they find out who Satoshi is, I really don't think that's going to be super negative. Maybe you have some short-term volatility until the craziness wears off, but like, you have people that there are people that will buy Bitcoin no matter what the fucking price is. There are crazy whales out there that will just buy the shit out of it if it goes to certain levels, and they'll just keep buying it. And then again, you have the direction, you have the person there, so he can go out and say it's Jack Dorsey. He can say, okay, yeah, I'm going to burn those 1 million coins publicly, and then it's done, right? But I go back to the fundamentals. Why is Bitcoin so valuable? Because it's competing with gold right now because we think of it as a store of value. It moves through space and time. Like, what makes a currency a currency? Like, it can move through space and time. It's divisible. It's the counterparty risk is much lower. There is no sure thing in investing. Everything is risk. Every single thing you're going to invest your money is going to have some sort of risk. And the way I look at it, investing in crypto is the lowest risk out of every asset I found. Like, I've been looking in real estate lately. Okay, what's my risk here? My risk is we have a demographic crisis. We have, the baby boomers retiring en masse. A lot of millennials can't afford to buy new homes in Canada here. So are we going to have more supply than demand? Possibly. Right, so that you can use. Everybody thinks real estate goes up all the time, but it doesn't. And then you have what we had 40-year high interest rates that could happen again. So you have risk no matter what you're investing in. I choose Bitcoin because I can fully self-custody it. I have full control of whatever I want to do with it. Yes, there is a risk in that unknown of the founder or the legacy wallets and whatnot. But that's you're going to gamble in any investment you do, and that's a gamble that I'm okay with taking. You have to understand that if you're going to invest, you got to find things that you're okay with gambling. And you're talking about your high wealth individuals that go into Ethereum because they're comfortable with investing in companies. That's all they've done their whole life. They probably invested in stocks and equities and stuff like that, which is just companies. And altcoins with founders are essentially just investing to a startup or a company.
I love every second of that, man. I think that was very well said. Thank you, Mike. Pete, my guy.
I got to watch you spit coffee at your nose. It was awesome.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad I had the video up today. The delay made it even better.
Because you actually got to see it.
Save the cheerleader, save the world. Okay.
Oh, hero.
Hero. Yes.
Hero.
Yes. And I'm going to come at this like two different ways. One, just like straight economics, supply and demand. You put more tokens, you're going to see a recalibration of price. Period. Just period. That's what the halving is. Like, it's what Bitcoin, it's what like almost all economics are based on, supply and demand curves. And so if you increase the supply by a third, you are going to see definitely short-term impacts, probably long-term impacts. And that's just from a supply perspective, not from an ethos perspective. But a lot of the people that hold early Bitcoin, and they hold a lot of it, they will sell if Satoshi becomes known, because they didn't get into this. Like, think about the nerds who fucking mined Bitcoin 10 years ago, right?
When it was a movement. Remember, this was a movement. There are people, it's in their heart and in their souls because it was a movement.
That's right. And if Satoshi is found out and governments intervene, those people are gone. And like, those are the wallets I'm more worried about than Satoshi. Because like, yes, Satoshi's wallet, big, important. But what about all those other millions of Bitcoin that are being kept in cold storage wallets right now because people believe in this thing that is Bitcoin? Nobody knows who invented gold, because no one invented gold. And I get it; it's a bit different. It's a mineral, it's a resource versus this new world of tech stuff. But does it matter? Does it matter who invented Bitcoin? To some people, it really does. And those people, like I think it was Crypto X was saying, like these high wealth individuals, like they want that kind of certainty. And so will that be enough to replace the people who are like, fuck this, I'm out? I don't know. It's hard to tell what the appetite would be for something like that. But I think it would cause a lot of long-term restructuring of how Bitcoin is held and operated. Like, a lot of people really like the concept of not knowing who Satoshi is.
Yeah.
And if we take that away, is Bitcoin even Bitcoin anymore?
Hey, I am there. I am there with, and I believe everything there. But just like the crypto.com thing, it's like crypto itself is not the same crypto that we came into. We have been talking about that. And like what I said, the movement is gone. We went from Bitcoin itself, just from going to the Bitcoin conferences over my span of being in crypto since I got in 2017. 2018 is when I started doing content. Probably 2018 or 2019 is when I started doing conferences. 2018 was the Voices of Blockchain conference, was the first one I ever went to. But I'm telling you, like, these things went from being Bitcoin specifically. Let's just take a step back, from being a movement. You could tell it was, cypherpunk central, and it was a movement even as far out as 2017, 2018, in that range. And then it was very clear it started to shift into an industry. You started to see more guys wearing suits. You started to see some other people starting to talk about it, right? So we went from movement to an industry to now what we're seeing this year over the last, several months, since it's been in the spotlight, since this political season. It has gone full mainstream is maybe not the right word, but you get what I'm saying here, where now we have gone into the global financial ecosystem. The ethos of crypto is gone. If you want to protect the centralization, that shit's on us, motherfuckers. That's on us. We are the ones that are going to have to teach people that shit, because they're not going to learn DeFi swaps on fucking Fox and MSNBC and, you're on the mic with Jim Cramer, whatever these fucking shows are. I don't know. They're not going to teach them that. They're going to tell you to get your Coinbase. They're going to tell you to do the centralized route. Again, we've talked about it for a long time. Like, as we see this shift, as we see crypto become more mainstream, mass adoption, you go to your banks and Granny can send you some Bitcoin from her savings account to yours, right? That stuff's happening. If you want to protect the centralization, we got to keep talking about it. And when people are ready to take that next step, we got to be here, ready, willing, waiting, and educating.
James, you're absolutely right there, and you can see it more and more. Like, look at Plan B. He came out about a month or so ago, and he said that he's moved his Bitcoin into IRAs, into other vehicles, and he's not self-custodying himself anymore. And a lot of people are, with institutions coming in, a lot more people are going to be doing that, because unfortunately we are in a society here in the United States that everybody wants Big Daddy to hold their hand and tell them it's going to be all right with what, in the choices that they make. And I think that unfortunately we're going to see a lot more of that, especially as the boomers move into this market. Like I said, I deal with a lot of high net worth individuals, and that's what a lot of them are wanting to do. They're wanting to, utilize like the backdoor IRA, where they can move it into an IRA and then take it out at 59 tax free and stuff like that. That's what they're kind of, because it's in their eyes, the institutions are still safer than self-custodying, because one incident happens and you lose those seed phrases and it's all over. And how many stories have we heard about that? And that fear is a huge hurdle for most new investors, in my experience, to get involved with. So, that being said, I think that institutions are going to bring in that mass adoption that we've all been wanting for so many years, just because that fear factor is no longer going to be there, of people not trusting themselves to be able to store their own assets and hold their own assets.
Yeah, hold your own asses, man. It's about ready to go too. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming in and hanging out with us today, man. I like the way that you talk about this kind of stuff. Please make sure you come back, and that goes for anybody. I know it wasn't the biggest crowd today, but I don't give a shit. I appreciate when we have great conversations. That's all that matters to me. Pete, what you got, my guy? And don't forget, we got to do pizza orders, and then we'll get it with skedaddle in a few minutes. But Pete, what you got for us?
Oh, I never forget about Pizza Friday.
Good.
I got my mustard ready. So I think that this is a very similar narrative to what happened. And again, I wasn't alive to watch it happen in real time, but my dad was when options trading started happening, right? Like the narrative is like, oh, well, we can't ever expect, Jim Cramer to explain to normal people how fucking derivatives markets work. And then fast forward, and now we have self-custody brokerages. Like the brokers made their entire living on the concept of like, oh, well, we need to play into this fear that these people have because we need to make the trades for them so we can take our 2% rip. But technology changed that. And all of a sudden, you can go on to TD Ameritrade and learn how to options trade from a fucking YouTube video.
Yeah.
So I just don't, I get why we feel that way. But in 10 years from now, 15 years from now, I don't know that it's going to be that different. Maybe whoever the new Jim Cramer is, he'll be out there saying the same thing, like, these people can't learn this, but they will if they have to. They will if they have to. That's how the world works and changes. Like telephone banking was the way. Now it's internet banking. And if blockchain technology is going to be the future of finance, well, then it is going to be the future of finance. It doesn't matter what roadblocks are in the way. They will have to come out or be overcome. And if we can't do that, well, then blockchain technology is not going to be the fucking future. So I don't know that grandma is going to ever have to learn it. But when I'm a grandfather, I think everybody is going to need to know how to do it. And if they don't know how to do it, there will be ways that are invented between now and then to not have to be so scary, because it is scary. Self-custody is scary. Like if I had to explain to my mom, hey, like you're going to hold your money under your mattress basically, and it's up to you to make sure that nobody steals it, but it's online, she would never go for it.
And everybody is going to try to steal it. You're going to click a link that you think is to go look at a happy picture, and it's going to take all your money. Like that's not a real thing. So like, we've said this before, self-custody is not, should not, it will not be for everyone. Some of us, we're beta testing all of this. We're the ones going through the shit. We tell the stories about what works and what doesn't. And that somehow gets back to our overlords, our crypto overlords. Speaking of that, we've got to pray to the pizza gods now. As you guys know, it's Friday. Hey, Mamma Mia, Papa Pia, time to order the pizzeria. All right, you know what? We got a guest today, Crypto X. It's your first time here, up on stage with us chatting. I want to let you know, Fridays, we do pizza orders at the end of the show. What kind of pizza you want?
I'm going to keep it classic with a straight pepperoni.
My guy. There you go. That's how you do that right there. Neil.
Well, I'm going to have to follow up and do what I didn't do last week. Go get that stuffed crust today. I'm with Crypto X. Pepperoni all the way, baby.
There it is. There it is. Mike, the modern Canadian. What kind of pizza do we get for you?
I'm going to go straight Italian and get a bruschetta pizza.
Ah, the bruschetta. It's good. It's a good. I like. Pete, my guy. I know it's got something to do with mustard. I know it.
Yeah, I'm going to get a nice pizza, mustard base, some pepperoni on top, and then I'm going to top that off with some Bitcoins.
Ooh, chocolate ones or like meaty ones?
Oh my God, my family definitely got me chocolate Bitcoin coins over the holidays, and I still have them. It's amazing.
Yeah, make a dessert pizza, a dessert Bitcoin pizza after your regular pizza. Oh wait, you ordered the pizza from me. I'm supposed to send it to you. I'm not supposed to make your own. My bad. Okay, you got it. 2 pizzas coming up with your Bitcoin chocolates. And believe we are making pizza here tonight. Pepperoni. You know the order by now. Pepperoni, garlic, arugula, and some balsamic glaze. That's how I do it. That's my jam. All right, well, ladies and germs, I think that's the end of the road for us today. I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you. Thank you for participating. Thank you for watching the live stream. Make sure you smash the like button on your way out of here. Have a great weekend. No afternoon show today. We'll be back Monday. So that means a couple things. Have a good weekend. Really, I do mean that. And then another. So we got from today until Saturday to Sunday, to Monday. You got 3 days. 3 days. You want to set some goals, put some systems in place to meet those goals, and then also in doing that is going to assist in the 1% better every day. So we'll see you on Monday, a few percent better. Adios. Have a wonderful weekend. Ciao for now.